This video is to show you how to set up the operation and some troubleshooting methods for the Reno Model AX2 detector. The Model AX2 is a full-featured, dual-channel, dual-output, one-per-channel vehicle detector that incorporates the reliable vehicle detection technology found in all of Reno's vehicle detectors. You can order a 1 or 2 connector unit. For this example, we will be using a 1 connector detector. With the unit plugged into the 11-pin connector and the power on, the power LED should be on and green. If the unit is plugged in and LED is off, this is telling you that you may have a power issue, and you should check the input voltage to the unit. We will talk more about this in the troubleshooting part of this video. Once the unit is powered up, you should see a green light on the power LED. Both DET LED for the channels should be off. The sensitivity should be set to the medium-low setting, which is dip switch 5, and should be in the on position, and the dip switch 6 should be in the off position. This is the setting that we set at the factory. There are 4 settings for the frequency: high, medium low, and low. To adjust the frequency, they are selectable by dip switches 1 and 2 on the front panel. What you want to do is, if you have multiple detectors, you want to make sure that each detector is set for a different frequency. If you don't do this, you could get crosstalk between the detectors. The factory default for both switches are in the off position. Now the detector is ready to detect vehicles. Each detector channel's output has 2 modes of operation, which are selectable by means of the front panel mounted dip switch number 3. The modes are true presence or pulse on entry. With dip switch number 3 in the off position, the true presence mode will hold the channel output in the detect state as long as the vehicle is present in the loop detection zone and power is not removed or a reset is applied. With dip switch number 3 in the on position, the mode changes to pulse on entry. This will pulse the output relay for 250 milliseconds when the vehicle enters the loop detection zone. Both channel 1 and 2 have their own set of front panel mounted dip switches to set their modes. With the Model AX2, you have options that you may want to use. From the front panel, both channels have a boost dip switch. This feature is useful in preventing dropouts during the passage of high bed vehicles or when a vehicle is towing a trailer. To activate this setting for one or both channels, turn on dip switch 4 on the channels you want the boost feature. Now let's talk about if you have issues with the detector. With no power LED, this is telling you that you have a power issue and you should check the input voltage to the unit. To check the voltage, you will need a voltmeter. Look on the side of the detector unit and see what the voltage should be, knowing that you should set your meter to measure that voltage. For example, if it's a 120 volt AC unit, you should set your meter to the AC reading. If it's 24 to 48 volt DC, you should set it to the DC reading. Once you set the meter, take one of the 2 probes and input into pin 1 of the socket, and the other put into pin 2 of the socket. And make sure that the meter is reading the correct voltage for the detector you're using. If the power is reading what you need, there may be an issue with the unit. If the power is wrong, you need to take care of the power supply before the unit will work. The Model AX2 detector has a diagnostic feature. When there is an issue with the detector loop, the detector will show the following: the channel detect LED flashing at a 10 Hz rate with a 50% duty cycle indicates that an open loop fail condition exists. To troubleshoot this issue, look to make sure the loop is connected. Most of the time it is a loose wire connection or the lead-in wire has been cut. If you cannot find a cut, then you will need to test the loop. The channel detect LED flashing at a 1 Hz rate with a 50% duty cycle indicates that a shorted loop fail condition exists. Once again, check the wire connection, or the lead-in wire, for a short. If you cannot find a short, then you will need to test the loop. The channel detect LED flashing at a rate of 3 flashes per second indicates that a loop failure condition has occurred and has been corrected. This flash rate will continue until another loop fault occurs, the detector is reset, or the detector loses power. Note: if a vehicle is detected, the channel detect LED will turn on even if a prior loop failure condition exists. This is the basic operation of the Model AX2 Reno detector.